We all fall down. No one knew the year anymore. It was deemed unimportant. The pestilence was wrought upon the world. Nothing mattered more than banishing this horrid plague from the accursed planet. The sickness spread across the globe, imprisoning people to their own houses. No one could enjoy what was left of the world without catching the sickening virus responsible for its wrecking. Many have stood cloaked in a black robe, donning the resemblance of a white crow. They pledged to protect the dying world from its cruel killer. But none lived up to this pledge. It was seen as an undeniable truth that none shall stand up to the planet's murderer. No one would ever see the pestilence on the receiving end of death. But there was one man, and this man was no exception. He did not make an unfulfillable promise to fully vanquish the plague from the sickened world. He did, however, find a cure. But this cure had a cost. The man had possession over remedies and medicines of unparalleled quality. Medicines that could cure terminal illness, remedies to cure cancerous infections. But the treatment had a side effect. It left its patients clinically deceased. Deceased for 3 millennia, but unable to truly perish or age for such a time. The truly remarkable remedy originated from another doctor long since taken by the very thing he swore to destroy. He would be remembered by the doctor, even after the fallen warrior had been forgotten to the rest of the world's populace. The rest of the country shamed the unfortunate doctor. They saw the costs of his cure as an unforgivable crime rather than a miracle. They did not see the cure, they saw a monstrosity of more danger than the plague. The doctor could not show his face. He feared punishment by the apocalypse of angered men who wished him great harm. Until one day, he donned his robe and a mask and boarded a train 3 minutes before midnight. He intended to bring his cure to France, a country which had not yet heard of the tragedy of the unfortunate plague doctor. When he left the train, the doctor bore witness to a pure century, one which did not yet seem to bear the signs of the pestilence. He swore to protect it at almost the exact moment he laid his eyes on it, for it was far more beautiful than what he had seen for the decades past. And yet, as weeks passed and quickly became months, which in turn faded into years, he began to see common symptoms of the plague in residents of the beautiful land. The pestilence was upon it, and the doctor was distraught. But he did not mourn for the inevitable fate of the until then untouched domain. He could not simply allow it to die, so he immediately took in all those whom he saw the pestilence inside. But soon, doubt found its way here as well. The doctor was soon found and imprisoned. His captors did not know what he had seen, and did not seem to believe in the existence of such a disease as the pestilence. Note: the following information is classified level 4/052-7. Passenger 052-7. Determined to have entered the train from an unknown year in the future. Footnote: subject claims to originate from a time period following the abandonment of the Gregorian calendar system. End footnote. But does not appear to be cognizant of this fact. Despite likely originating from the future, the subject is wearing a uniform consistent with that of the plague doctors commonly associated with the Black Death, a plague prominent in the 14th century. Subject claims it intends to eradicate an infection it refers to as the pestilence, and believes to have traveled from America to France, despite having traveled in time via SCP-052. Despite this, the subject has a strong French accent and can speak fluent French. Subject refuses to remove its suit, claiming that he had been actively pursued prior to boarding SCP-052. Subject has exhibited several anomalous properties and has since been classified as SCP-049. Its origination from SCP-052 has been covered up. The falsified documentation can be found here. End file.